It is official. Peyton Manning is a Hall of Famer. Headlining the Hall of Fame class of 2021. He was selected #1 overall with the Colts in 1998. Was with Indianapolis from 98 to 2011 before playing his final 4 seasons in Denver. Retired as the all-time leader in career passing touchdowns with 539. Currently ranks 3rd all-time, trailing only Tom Brady and Drew Brees. 5-time MVP, most all-time. No other player has 4. Set this NFL single-season record with 55 passing touchdowns and 5,477 passing yards in 2013. Both records still stand. Only starting quarterback in NFL history to win a Super Bowl with 2 teams, the Colts and the Broncos. And here's a look at the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2021. Calvin Johnson, Charles Woodson, also in their first year of eligibility. Alan Faneca, Drew Pearson, John Lynch, Tom Flores, Bill Nunn, who is a longtime scout for the Steelers. The late, great Bill Nunn, who was with the organization for 46 years. So a class there going in to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, and they will be enshrined in August. All right, here with CBS Sports HQ NFL analyst Ryan Wilson. Ryan, it is official. Peyton Manning is a Hall of Famer. There was never any doubt. When you look back at his career, it was incredible what he did. A 5-time MVP. Nobody even has 4. And now his crowning achievement, outside of his 2 Super Bowls, he gets into the Hall of Fame. Absolutely, Hakem. And again, this was a surprise to absolutely no one. The funny thing is, the way that Peyton plays, traditional pocket passer, didn't have the best arm. If he was coming out in the draft in 2021, he might end up being a late first-round pick, maybe even a day 2 pick. But that just tells you how good of a player he was to do the things he was able to do. And while he wasn't limited, quote-unquote, athletically, he certainly wasn't a Lamar Jackson or a Russ Wilson or a Kyler Murray. He did all the things by being incredibly smart. A lot of the things he was able to do was because he knew more than everyone else on the field, and he knew it at a high level, and he knew it for the course of his career. There is very little to say about Peyton Manning's accolades as we look at him here. He was that good and that important to the Colts franchise. Turned that franchise around. And don't forget, excuse me, Hakem, in 1998, the conversation for a while was, are we going to take Ryan Leaf #1 overall or Peyton Manning? Clearly, the Colts did the right thing with Peyton Manning. Would he have been a Hall of Famer if he hadn't won that 2nd Super Bowl with Denver? Yeah, without question. And in fact, his brother, Eli Manning, is going to be a really interesting Hall of Fame debate because he has nothing close to the numbers in terms of production year in and year out as Peyton does. But he does have those 2 Super Bowls, and that is the talking point for why Eli Manning will be in the Hall of Fame one day, because of those Super Bowls, not so much because of what he did in the years that they didn't make the playoffs. When you look back at Peyton Manning's career, what stands out to you the most? You know what it is? It's that he struggled for the longest time to figure out how to get past Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. And it got to the point where the Colts actually changed the rules that you couldn't mug receivers, and it made things a little easier. But also those teams, and we talked about this with Kevin Stefanski, the Browns found a way to win. The Colts did the exact same thing against that Patriots team that seemed so formidable at the time. And then they became sort of commonplace, and they would get after it time and time again, year in, year out, versus Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. And at the end of the day, they won that last Super Bowl for the Broncos. How would you describe his career? Hall of Famer, but what else would you say about Peyton Manning's career? Oh, he's the smartest player to ever play the game, and I don't even know if there's a close second. Tom Brady works incredibly hard, we know that. Drew Brees works incredibly hard, we know that. But in terms of knowing exactly what to do, when to do it, what to expect from a defense, there were very few times throughout the course of his career that Peyton Manning was surprised by something, and that makes your job as a head coach, as an offensive coordinator, incredibly easy when you're calling plays for a Hall of Famer who cannot be fooled play in and play out. Only starting quarterback to win 2 Super Bowls with 2 different teams. Of course, Tom Brady will look to join him on Sunday night in Super Bowl 55. 2 more first-time guys in terms of eligibility, first-year eligibility, Calvin Johnson and Charles Woodson. And I want to start with Charles Woodson here because he was selected 4th overall in 1998. Peyton Manning went 1st that year. Charles Woodson, 13 career defensive touchdown, tied for most all time. Of course, he won the Heisman at Michigan, the 10th Heisman Trophy winner to make the Hall of Fame. How would you describe his Hall of Fame career, Ryan?
Again, this is a slam dunk, and you mentioned the Hall of Fame. He is now only the 5th player to win the Heisman Trophy and did it as a cornerback, which is mind-blowing, and then win a Super Bowl and now go to the Hall of Fame. He joins Roger Staubach, Tony Dorsett, Marcus Allen, and Paul Hornick, and he was so instrumental into helping the Packers. And then we see him with the Raiders, and he played at such a high level throughout the course of his career, and he wasn't a punter. He wasn't a kicker. He was playing defensive back, and he dominated for much of his career after dominating in college. This feels like a slam dunk no-brainer to me, and he certainly deserves his spot first ballot in Canton.
He was a Super Bowl champion, a 9-time Pro Bowler. Charles Woodson headed to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in his first year of eligibility. Also going to Canton, one of my favorite players of all time, Calvin Megatron Johnson, and what a beast he was in his time in Detroit. Selected 2nd overall by the Lions in 2007, spent his entire 9-year career with Detroit. He retired following 2015 at the age of 30. And you'll remember Barry Sanders also, his final season in Detroit was at the age of 30. Now both of those guys are in the Hall of Fame. Megatron just dominated the game, Ryan. I mean, this is a guy that changed the size, the speed, the way he was able to basically overwhelm defenders. His hands were massive, like meat hooks, and like he had that's why they call him Megatron. He was built perfectly for a wide receiver.
Absolutely, and we're looking at the stats here. So in 2012, we see that dominant 1964 receiving yards. That gets your attention. That same season, he averaged 122.8 receiving yards a game. The year before that, he had over 1,000 receiving yards. He had 1,600, excuse me, and he had 16 touchdowns. And this is year in and year out. And by the way, he wasn't playing for the Colts or the Patriots. He was playing for the lowly Lions. Imagine, I mean, he got into the Hall of Fame playing only from 2007 to 2015, playing for that Lions team. Imagine if he was playing on a winning football team, the amount of damage he could have done if he had a chance to play consistently in the playoffs or make it to the Super Bowl. And I'll leave you with a fun fact, Hakem. The Offensive Player of the Year in the state of Georgia High School 2003, number 2, Megatron. Number 1, he lost out to, I'll give you a million guesses, never get it, Sean McVay.
Sean McVay. Yep, that's a pretty tasty morsel, man. I wish we would have been able to see Megatron play a lot longer. But, hey, he is now a Hall of Famer as he is headed to Canton. They'll be enshrined in August. Ryan, thanks. Appreciate that. And here's a look at the class headed to Canton, headlined by Peyton Manning, Calvin Johnson, Charles Woodson, Alan Faneca, Drew Pearson, John Lynch, Tom Flores, and Bill Nunn as they are headed to Canton as they make up the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2021.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.